I'm Taylor, and this is my final presentation on my topic, which was gun ownership and why it should be stopped. So my first main point is how guns are a threat and should not be seen as something that is safe. I understand why people see it as a item to protect themselves, but I do not think that guns should be seen as something safe, because all that guns really are, like, guns just they only cause harm if you really think about it. Like, a gun makes someone hurt. Guns kill, guns harm, guns just don't cause good things. So if you went out to dinner with your family and you saw someone with a gun on them, what would be your first initial reaction to that? Because I know personally I would be a little frightened and a little threatened. I would feel kind of unsafe in the situation. If I were to go out and see someone else with a gun on them, I would not feel very comfortable, and I don't think that any of you would feel very safe if you saw someone with a gun on them. My next topic is about young people and guns. In today's society, in today's world, a lot of gang violence, just gun violence in general, all of that happens within the youth nowadays, and it's just really awful. Gun violence is the second leading cause of death in children in the U.S. since 2016, and that's kind of scary to think about. While I was doing my research, just looking at all these numbers and statistics about young people involved with guns and the deaths and the victims, it's just a very shocking amount, and it's very concerning. Children of the ages 12 through 18 are more likely to die from a firearm than any other cause of death. And that is a very alarming fact. At least to me it was, and I would hope to all of you that hearing that would just be kind of a shock. Children should not have access to guns. If there is a gun in the household, that makes it automatically easier for the child to get a hold of the gun, or just any young person to get a hold of the gun. And obviously, their minds aren't as developed as an adult and would not know how to handle a firearm correctly. Guns in general just need to be let me rephrase that. Guns need to be harder to get a hold of, with whether that's buying them, just having one in the house, or just, I feel like, as I said, I think I said something in my last presentation about how parking spots are harder to find than guns are. And that's just, I was doing my research and I saw that somewhere, and it's just really alarming how guns can just be grabbed and got a hold of very easily, and it's very concerning to me, and I would hope that's concerning to you. That's why I want to bring light to this situation, to just spread awareness about how easy it is to get a hold of a gun, and how many young people in today's society are getting involved in gun violence and gang violence, and just how much gun violence in general there is, especially in today's society, especially what's going on right now. Yes. The third topic is just protection in general. Carrying around a gun is putting others in danger automatically, no matter if it's for you protecting yourself. If you have a gun on you, you're automatically putting that family, this girl, this boy in danger when you're out in public, because you never know what could go wrong with having a firearm on you. That, like I said earlier, guns are they're just unsafe objects, and people should not just be having guns, here and there. It shouldn't be a thing that's normalized in today's society. For sure. If a gun is unneeded, then why carry it? Like, this is my big thing, and like the biggest topic is, if guns weren't allowed to be open carried in the first place, or if guns were harder to get in the first place, then you personally would not need a gun to protect yourself, because no one else would have a gun. So why would you need a gun to protect yourself if no one else is going to put a threat on you or harm you with a gun. Because that's just something I don't understand. If a gun is not, like, in the first, like, if guns were not allowed in the first place, then you would not need a gun to protect yourself from another gun. And that's just really big in my mind. And while doing my research, it's just all comes together how just, like, it's just a big threat. Guns are only used to hurt and are just, as I said, they're only used to hurt people and they're just should not be seen as a good thing. The only exception to if someone like hunts, they can have a gun, but they should go through excessive background checks, everything. But no one should just be able to go out and buy a giant assault rifle or a giant just gun to just have, because that is sketchy, and that's how school shootings happen. That's how mass shootings happen. That's how all these big horrifying events happen with big guns, is because people just go out and they can get a hold of guns anywhere. And that is just the most horrifying thing ever. And I know that you can all agree with me that that is just horrifying. All right, fourth slide. Violence. Morally, I believe that violence should not be needed ever. I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in fighting. I don't believe in gun violence, especially this is what my whole presentation is just having guns and gun violence and how it should be stopped. And it's just, guns in general need to stop being so easily accessible to anyone, especially the youth. All right, so in the past 10 years, 180 school shootings have happened, and there was 356 victims altogether. That's a little. Think about a 10-year span and 180, almost 200 events happened with a gun involved in a school. That's a little alarming, and I would hope that that's kind of a shock to you. Just ask yourself why does all these things happen, all these horrible events happen with guns? Just ask yourself, like, why do these things happen? Like, how can they be stopped? And just how horrifying they are. Just think about all that for a second. Just really, like, rethink your morals and rethink your ideas and rethink just everything that you know, and just think about how horrible all these things happen because of one thing, a gun, which guns are unsafe, horrible, as I said. Like I said earlier, just guns need to be harder to access, and just they can't be laying around everywhere, especially for young people. And just really think about everything that I said, and just kind of go through and just be, like, really ask yourself, like, are guns really necessary to have to protect if they're just going to put others in harm, threaten other people? As I said earlier, if you were out to dinner with your family and you saw someone carrying their gun, what would your reaction be to that? Say you're waiting in line and you see someone in front of you with a gun. To me, I would feel a little uneasy, because that's just me and how I morally think about things and just how I feel. But how would you personally feel? Would you feel threatened? Because I know I would. So that was my topic presentation. My topic was gun ownership, and yeah, I hope you guys all got a good idea of what I was trying to say. Sometimes I can't be the best speaker, but yeah, I hope you guys got a good grasp on the point I was trying to get across, and thank you for listening.